Hello, welcome to Z Explains BG. I am Z. Let's play some 5-point matches and yeah, see what we can learn. All right, M. Sinho. A good match to my opponent. Let me fix this a bit. Good. So yeah, splitting's a little better with the 3 there. The reason is you have like decent builders anyways after you hit with the 6, so it's not so necessary to bring down another builder to the 10. If you hit with the ace and you roll a 3, although there you make the 5-point, but if you hit with an ace and roll like a 4, the numbers of 4, that's when you got to bring down the builder, because your builder's all super thin. But when you hit with the 6, you got like decent builders, so you can split. Yeah, here, oh yeah, this is a little bit of a tough play for him. I mean, obviously he's making the 3, and then, okay, so he goes with the safer option. I don't blame him. I sort of dukes his 4s a little bit. Is there anything else? I mean, I like making my 11-point anyways. All right, I guess the slot's okay. Hitting, I think, is more important than making the 2, because you're hitting off a good. He's hitting off a good point here. Okay, interesting. Yeah, this is nice. Oh my God. I'm only going to be too good a lot. Yeah. Obviously, I didn't miss a cube or anything, but that was a violent swing. I just started maximizing builders for my points. All right, he could get my market back. So if he rolls well, maybe he has a take. All right, let's see. Okay, so I have to go after him on the 4. And that looks like the best 6. All right, what is this? I mean, it's seems passive due to his front position. I don't think it's too good. Maybe he takes. Maybe it is a take. But I think his game is just too tough. I mean, he sort of has an okay back game, but the 1-2 back game is very hard to time, and this front position doesn't look that good. On the other hand, I haven't filled in my 4-point yet. So let's see what happens. All right, I guess I'm glad to see that. We'll see what the computer says. And I don't want to give him too many forward going chances, so I got to do this with the 6. Yeah, I hear ya. Okay, so he's probably going to be able to upgrade to this holding game. Or not. Or he hits me and goes forward. Let's see, so 1, 2, 3, and then either 10 or 9 with the last one is fine. So he said, oh yeah, he obviously hitting, covering, and thinking about the last one. Don't want to leave too many blots lying around. I mean, not only because like of the fly shots, but because he's gonna like attack me here, and then I don't want like this long-term target. But also, it looked like the 2 played productively on the home front. It looks like he should try to contain. I mean, hit with the 6, maybe bring down the 5. Maybe he's thinking a little bit about splitting with the 5. Yeah, but if he gets hit, he may never make that second anchor again. And that would be, I mean, that'd be a big shame for him. Like I'm hitting him with ones, twos, and one, threes, and fours here. I think, like if I do this and he rolls a two, he's got like a real game again. So I think I want to do something like this, even though it's a little more risky. This is also possible. Don't want to leave too many blots in case he rolls double twos. Boy, what's going on here? I mean, I am taking if he doubles because I mean, it's four men back behind my decent structure. I don't think this is that threatening. All right, similar here. 3, 4. Oh, now he's threatening to make that point. But he's still got a ton of work to do to extricate even after he makes it. Maybe that means it's double take. Huh. Yeah, that's a tough one. $42. Yeah. Huh. Sort of bad to like go to your ace point when you have four men back, but it didn't really look like that was a great play there. Like when you have a lot of men back, there's sort of a high premium on playing purely on your home front. All right, so now I'm still taking, I guess. He's got so much. I mean, he's got so much work to do to come around. I mean, now this is getting a little scary that he's probably going to hit me before I enter, and then the work doesn't seem that much anymore. So yeah, pretty unclear stuff to me. He doesn't think it's good enough, I guess. So it's likely hits. Okay, so he likely hits me, and then I mean, I got a lot of chances to enter. Well, he's still got a ton of work to do to come around. So it seems like I do win this a lot still. His gammons are a bit muted because he can't use all four. He can't use all 8 points from the gammon. So there's called overage. If he misses right away, I enter. I'm winning. Huh. Yeah, this could be a big something, but I'm not really sure what it is. All right, so my gut says I should take this. So he hits, I enter. Eventually, he's still pretty far back. Okay, I guess I'll give it a try. And he could completely miss. Yeah, this is unclear. Enter. Oh, he's cracking. All right, so his take point on the recube is 15%. He probably has it, but it's not clear. I mean, he should run out. So I am going to cube this and see what happens. Okay, doesn't think he has enough. Maybe. Okay, so 4 zip. So gammons do not help him. So it's the Crawford game, and he needs an odd number of points to win the match. So those scores, you're not helped by winning a gammon that much. he seems like a nice guy. This looks okay. I mean, you can play safely there, but it's a little, you're going to stagnate back on the ace a lot. Like you could have entered on the 24 and picked up the 3. So you did something more dynamic, which is okay. You can escape a checker and make the 11 here. That seems like it does a lot. And actually, the bar point doesn't really have that much value because I'm anchored up high. So definitely making the 11 is better than making the 7. Not really seeing anything else. Yeah, maybe I'm just wrong there, and it's some easy take on the recube. 2, 3, 4. I mean, he does. Still thinking about the recube. I mean, he does have 3 men primed pretty badly. So I guess my opponent's point is that's plenty of compensation. Alright, what do I do here? This is pretty good. Although it gives him a lot of like attack and priming chances, so this gives him a lot of good hits though. Huh. I'm gonna lock this up. Alright, one way to look at this decision is I'm foregoing hitting, but I'm sort of getting 2 good assets out of it, right? Because I'm keeping my 20 point and I get the 4 point on top of it. So 2 great points, you know, compared to a hit, a questionable hit. It seemed like maybe the points make more sense. Like if it was 1 point, if I was foregoing 1 point to hit, you know, it's worth hitting. But 2 points, that's a bit of a tall order. Okie dokie, good roll. Bad roll. I think you should just play 13-2, keep all the blocking points. Well, another thing you could do is maybe bring 2 down from the midpoint, because when I hit him with a 2, maybe he makes a, maybe he makes a second anchor. And, you know, he's obviously gammas don't hurt him. He's up in the race, though, so maybe getting hit hurts him in that sense. Okie dokie. This looks good. I'm ready to hit him loose if he steps up with an ace. This gives me still kind of 2 builders, but I'm sort of using the guy on the 8 point as a builder also, because I'm willing to give that up to hit him sometimes. Ew, hope he doesn't roll a 6. Ah, crap. Yeah, roll an 11. No, that's an 11. This is proper technique when you're hanging back waiting for a shot. You know, if you can't make a point, it's usually good to start the point by putting a checker there, as opposed to just, say, spreading out the builders. I mean, it might be different if I was like almost certainly getting a shot, if I had like a very good chance to get a shot next roll. But even when there's a decent chance that you're going to get a shot, it's still sort of right to build your board in that way. You know, start a point, then make it next turn. Like for it to hurt you, right? It takes a parlay. It's like first he has to leave a shot, then you have to hit it, then he has to hit you back, and then he has to win from there. So like in all other circumstances, you're happy having slotted the point. Now it's likely going to be 4-1. So he shall double me right away. All right, yeah, nothing going on here. It's always, I mean, if you can take a checker off with a single number, it's almost always right to do so. And I think it's always right. If you can take a single checker off with an ace, I believe it's always right to do so. The thing, it can be right to forego a checker, taking the checker off, if you need to use 2 dice to take off a single checker. Like a lot of times it's right to sort of spread out the checkers in that case, sort of get yourself more efficient. This is funny, the same start. This one I'll take. Yeah, it's because of the score. When you need at post Crawford, he needs an odd number of points to win the match. So you have to take everything. Losing the rationale is losing 1 point is almost as bad as losing 2 points. Okay, so maybe I really got to fight for a forward anchor here because getting Gambit is really bad. So this seems like an okay plan. I mean, obviously I hate hitting off the deuce. Ooh, what about something like this? Doing some of the extrication work while I'm up in the race. Ooh, that's nice. Make the 4. 5-3. Okay, so I can hit him, but obviously it's too dangerous. So I guess this is right? Probably not a bad roll if I play it like that. The 11 points is a bit of an asset, but it's also a bit of a liability because it's going to be tough to clear later, especially if he makes the 20, which is not that clear he's supposed to do it. Yeah, maybe this sort of more immediate contact, anyways. And maybe he should just make the 3 and 2. Just keep all his defensive structure as is. Alrighty. You know what? 14 and 3 maybe? A little fancy. I mean, another idea is just to run out to the mid. And 13-6 seems like a candidate also. Okay. Alright, so what if I just did this? I'm up 18 pips. I mean, if I hit him, often he gets to make an anchor and keep another checker back there. So I feel like if he enters, I'm going to get hit a little more later. On the other hand, I'm going to lose some races this way. And I still have the midpoint to clear, which is maybe not a big problem, but it could be a problem. And I do like sort of the flexibility here. So let's try this. It's going to be embarrassing losing this race, though. The race is now quite close. Don't want to leave too many shots. So this is 4. Actually, this is 3 shots. 4, 4, 3, 3, 6, 6. Expensive. Okay. And this is 5 shots. I mean, some of these like 6-6 kind of wins anyway, so I don't really mind leaving the 6-6. Oh, I guess I gotta hit him now because the race is so much in question. Oh, that worked out. Yeah, I did not think about six. I did not think about 6-6. I was lucky that it worked out. It was probably a good thing to think about because I did have options on that ace. Looks like 6 blot numbers either way. Right, 6 blot numbers, although I get to clear this next turn. So this I guess is slightly safer. That doesn't matter. Whew. That was tough. That was a tough match. Feel like okay with my decisions. Maybe this isn't over. Yeah, sort of one big set away from being back in this game. All right, that's over. You can check out that. I usually don't do this, but he seemed like a nice guy. And he seems maybe interested on the plays. Let's see if he says anything. So it looks like I played well. So I guess that's I guess he's right about the cube. I guess maybe the cube's the question, and the take is very easy. Well, okay. Let's take a look at the XG analysis. Okay, we'll download this, we'll import it, and then analyze. Yeah, so this is the initial 3. Yeah, like if you rolled a 1-4 here, you would bring down the builder with the 4. Because you're so thin on the builders, but the fact that you have like the spare on your 8-point means you hit with the 6. It's better to split with the 3. All right, what is that? Okay, yeah, I thought maybe this was better, even though it's dangerous. Notice 6s and 4s. Although I'm happy to hit with them, I have to forego making a point with them. So they're kind of duplicated, you know, versus his play, which I guess 1s are duplicated, but you know, 6s and 4s are still making good points for me. And it's just such a gross, I don't know, such a gross structure. Like he gets away with this, and he's not that happy. All right, nothing else with that 5-2. What a great roll. Oh, this was tremendous. All right, I didn't become too good. Try to maximize the builders. Clearly too good still. Although he wins. He wins 26% of the time. But usually when things start going badly for me, I can cash later. Okay, correctly go after him on the 4. Okay, this is still too good. Yeah, I figured this was a pass. In practice, it's a double because this is tempting to take. I mean, I don't blame him for taking. So, Like I wouldn't say I was like 100% sure about the pass here. I just thought like, okay, the one he's likely pinned to a 1-2 back game. Those tend to be very hard to time. In other words, it's easy for me to build up prime in front of him and like I'll watch his home board crunch. And like his home board is such in a bad state. Like he already has like these low points made. It'd be a lot stronger if you like traded the 2 point for the 5 point, say. I mean that's I guess that's still a pass, but it's closer. In fact, we can test that. All right, so let's take a look. Okay, so this is the match position. It's too good. Trade the 2 for the 5. See now, like his immediate hits are worth a lot more, and his back game rate. If he is in fact pinned to a 1-2 back game, it rates to be better with this pure front position. So this is a ton stronger for white. Yeah, I don't know if I would. I don't know if I would take though, but it's not too good anymore. That's for sure. Um, okay, so it's a pass, but a closer one. Still pretty big. Still pretty big pass. Part of the problem is that the score 5-0, 5-0. You're paying pretty big to the gammons. Oh yeah, hey Heavy Gear Z. I like the Z in your name. Yeah, there should. I always think there like should be a market for this. Like there's like so many chess streamers out there, right? And they're like super popular. So it seems like there should be more there should be like more backgammon streaming. I would hope. I mean, I've had some interest in my channel, but not a lot of like people watching. Not a lot of people like watching as the game's going on. But I haven't really done like much advertising either. So I mean, we'll see where it goes. Mostly I'm just doing it for fun. Okay, but in any case, so this is the alternate match position where I traded the 2 for the 5. Yeah, so for money, this is still a pass, but I think it's closer because gammons at 5-0, 5-0, doubled gammons hurt a lot more. Okay, so 135. Yeah, maybe it didn't make such a big difference. Yeah, no, it doesn't look like it makes a big difference. I guess white does get to use white wins a lot, so he does get to use an effective cube quite a bit at this score. But in any case, let's go back to the match. Yeah. So YouTube, yeah, I have like a few games on. I tried. That's where I started. I started on YouTube. I just put up some matches, and there wasn't like there wasn't a ton of interest. But yeah, I see what you're saying about streaming at the same time, Idiot Vig. Anyway, so let's go to that cube. All right, so it's too good. I think it is a good double in practice, even against like relatively strong players, because this is pretty tempting, I would think. All right, I try to escape. I manage to escape. All right, so yeah, okay, so this is interesting that this is fairly close. I mean, I thought that hitting off the 2 point was sort of key here. Because like say I don't hit off the 2 and he rolls a 2, I mean that's not as good as hitting for him. But it's pretty good, right? He's got like this decent 1-2 game. He is pretty strong. I mean, so let's take a look at my play. In fact, let's evaluate it at higher level and then take a look at my play. So this is my play. That's a little dangerous, right? He rolls a 2 right away, and then he's got a 4-point board, and I got another exposed blot in the outfield. But on appeal, it does like hitting off the 2, still only by 0.03. The other play, hitting in the outfield, yeah, it's a lot safer. In fact, he has zero return shots. But again, if he rolls a deuce, he might get a decent game out of it. Okay, so closer than I thought. I'm glad I got it right anyway. So he rolls the double 2s. Okay, now he's winning, but he's winning if he holds the cube. It's super far away from a double. Now, see, this is where I sort of started getting a little worried about being doubled. But I guess because of all this stuff back here, he's not clearly winning by a ton anyways. I'm gonna say I would have found the take, but yeah, I guess my valuation on this was pretty far off. I don't know the 7-1. Okay, he makes a good play just because there's nothing else that's productive. He's no longer really playing a back game here. Um, he's really trying to go forward. So 7-1 is sort of clearly the best forward going play. And if he gets hit, you can always fall back on a back game. Okay, once again, I sort of started getting worried about being doubled here, especially after he came into a direct shot. And then then he gets to a double direct shot, and then he does double me, which is a good double. Good double in practice anyways. Like I wasn't 100% to take this. I mean, I'm doing okay if he misses, right? I mean, in that case, I'm probably going to enter before he hits me. If he hits me, I guess he still has all this work to do. And it's very gammonish, but gammons don't hurt that much. Double gammons don't hurt that much, right? Because he's winning 4 extra points on the gammon, but he can only use one of them. So in other words, the gammon value isn't very large. So that would mean this is sort of a stronger cube for money than it is at the score. And I do want to test that. I did think of it at the time. Okay, so this is the score-based analysis. This is the money. Okay, money, yeah, money is close on the take pass. In fact, this will probably roll out to be a little stronger than this. And the difference is because for money you get to use full value of your gammons. At the match, even though you win the match by winning a gammon, the gammon price is still low. Because if you win a single game, you kind of win the match anyways. You win a double single game, you win 4 points anyways, and you kind of win the match there mostly anyways. So, yeah, maybe I was thinking more like money-like on here. But in any case, I did find the take. And then I somehow turn it around. He misses with his horrible 4-4. I eventually enter, and then I double because I'm not really. His take points I think 15% on the recube, maybe 16 with the modern match equity tables. I wasn't clear on whether he had it here, so I thought it was a pretty easy double. And then okay, so yeah, I was happy to see the pass. Oh yeah, so here's a good example. I mean, what I was saying before on his early 6-3 last game, you hit with an ace, and say you split after hitting with the ace. You're so thin on the builders here, right? I mean, your only clean cover is like a 6. One's cover, but they give up the 8 point. So it's important. It's important to bring down the 2. Okay, so you played BG for 2 years, 6-8 PR. That's pretty decent for, it seems like to get to a 6-8 PR after a couple of years of playing, you probably have a very studious approach to the game. Yeah, I mean, that's sort of the question, right? I mean, how do you improve? When I started, I got like pretty decent without using computers. What I did, and this is back, I don't know, late 90s, I think. The neural nets were like just coming out at the time. But for the first like year or two of playing, I didn't use computers much at all. What I did was I read books, and I took it very slowly. I would read a chapter of the book, and then play on fibs while thinking mostly about that new chapter I read until I got kind of comfortable with the concepts in that chapter. And then I would move on to the next chapter. and yeah, TD Gammon. I think it was like the Jellyfish and TD Gammon right around the time I started playing. But in any case, so I yeah, so I would take the books very slowly and try to like internalize the concepts. Like I'd read a chapter, I'd play on fibs, many matches while thinking about that chapter, and then I'd go on to the next chapter, and occasionally I would go back to the important chapters. So I got pretty far. I mean, I don't know what my PR was at the time. I was probably in the fives or sixes at the, like heavy gear. But I got pretty decent without the use of computers. Nowadays, with computers, there's a little bit of a shortcut. I mean, I don't like playing against the computers that much because I don't think it prepares you for live play against humans. So what I do is I play against humans online and then analyze it with a computer and look at your match every single time, even the ones you play well, because you do want to reinforce your good decisions. Even when you get them right. Like let's say you think a play is close and you get it right, and but the play is not close. Like your play is right by point one or point two or something. You need to see that because it means you're thinking. Even though you got the play right, your thinking is off. If you thought it was close and it was like way different, it was way different than that. That's you need to correct your thinking on that matter. In the same way as you need to correct your thinking on a play you got wrong. So that's why I like to go over. That's why I like to go over every match, and going over every. I'm a little lazy to go over every decision, but it's sort of a helpful thing to do. Yeah, I have a mathematics and computer science degree. So I think being a little mathematically inclined, I think does help a little bit. But it's not necessary. I mean, there's many good players who are not particularly mathematically inclined. It just helps a little bit. Yeah, I mean, it depends if let's say you're token middle double with tons of options and you try something because it might work. Well, if you're unclear, if there's a bunch of options and you're unclear on what the right one is, and you look at the evaluation and they're all pretty close, like if they're all between zero point zero 0.04 of each other or something, that's like a really good sign because you should be unsure in those circumstances, right? Like sometimes you get in arguments like and you're in a chouette or something, and you're you get in a disagreement over a play, and one player says, oh, "Okay, I think we should do play A," and it's very clear. You have to do play A. If you do play B, you're definitely making an error. And the other guy's like, "Well, I think play B is maybe a little better, but I'm not too sure." And let's say it turns out that play A is right. The first player was right, but is very very close. Well, that actually means the second player was closer than player A, even though the second player got it wrong. So what I'm saying is like player A was off. The first player was like off by a lot. He thought the play was like super clear when it was like close. So you should be unsure in those circumstances. So if you're looking at this like play with a ton of options and they're all like pretty close and you're unclear, that's sort of where you should be. Now if there's one play that's right by a lot, and you were unclear on it, then that position deserves a little bit more study. But anyways, okay, so 4-4 here. Yeah, I just thought making the 20 was sort of the most valuable asset. Obviously, there's some other options. I make a great asset with the 2-1. Again, I make sort of the best available asset. I don't know if I really looked at this that much, but it seems like 10 and 3 is a pretty solid play. So I did this, which builds a nice 4 prime. If you play 10 and 3, you build two good points, but it's a little disjoint. Like you really do kind of want to prime the back checker. So that's why I went with making the 7. I don't know if I really thought about it too much. 1-1, I spread things out. 4-1, I get lucky and hit. 2-1. Okay, so hitting here is pretty big blunder. When this first came up, I thought I was going to hit. But the more I looked at it, I thought, oh, okay, well, I get to keep my 20 and make my 4, and all I have to do is forgo hitting. And hitting leaves a ton of return action, so I thought, oh, okay, I want the 2 good points by doing this. And that's right by a good margin. I try to contain the back checker. Yeah, 3-2. I sort of like 3-2 because you see this once in a while where here it's a little bit forced because there's not really a great ace after hitting. All the aces are sort of destructive. But a lot of times it is good to push this guy away from the prime. I mean, it's bad when you get away with it because you don't get to roll your prime forward. But it's good because now his hits aren't at the edge of the prime. And he sort of has good 3s and 2s, but like the 2s like don't really do as much as hits normally do. So I sort of like this play at the time. Okay, he rolls 4-1, puts his position together. I rolled 3-2. I thought maybe getting this guy ready to spring and getting him out of harm's way was more important than bringing the builder closer, and the computer agrees. Our bar 18 is surprisingly close to me here. So what's going on here? In fact, the computer likes bar 18. Let's see, at the time, I mean, I didn't like giving him a chance to hit me. And I sort of liked bringing this guy closer because now if he steps up with the ace, I can hit him with the 5 productively, right? If I come out with the 2, yeah, I'm getting sort of hit everywhere. 1s are a little duplicated, right? Like he wants to step up with the 1. In fact, he'll probably forgo some hits to step up with the ace. So I don't know. What do you guys think? Is this would you guys do 18, or would you, even if you wouldn't play 18 here, would you seriously consider it? Because I didn't really seriously consider it. I mean, one problem with my play, I guess, is that I'm cracking some with 6s. Right, like say, I don't know, say it just breaks the midpoint and I roll 6-3 or something. I mean, that's a disaster for me. Whereas 20 to 18, alleviates some of that pressure. And you got 4 guys here, so you really want to get them going. So this was I mean, this obviously I got this wrong. It's pretty close, but this is an example. Like I thought this would be wrong by 0.05 or more to like play 20 to 18. So I'm pretty far off, even though this is a close play. So this is sort of a good, yeah, definitely more flexibility, right? Right. Oh my God, return shots. They've got a pretty brittle position. Yeah. Yeah, I think you guys have the right idea. I mean, the points are all stripped in the outfield. Like if he had like lots of spares there, it'd be a lot more dangerous to step out. But he has to give up. He has to give up some important point to hit. Like I think maybe with certain aces, he's not supposed to give up the point to hit. He's supposed to step up with the ace. Although it's a little hard because you got to play another number after stepping up with the ace. And that's gonna deteriorate his position. So maybe he's hitting with all aces. Okay, so 5-2. All right, I roll a nice 5-4. And roll a nice 4-5. He's having trouble stepping up. And then he gets to step up, and I roll this dud. I just have to maximize the builders and hope he doesn't roll a 6, which he does. So I build out my board nicely. And then I do eventually get a shot, but I miss it, and then I just lose the race. Right, yeah, this is a pretty clear pass. So he's 4 away here. This is the Crawford game. He's got an even number of points, so obviously he doubles right away. and then I'm supposed to pass if I'm far under 50% of the game. It's a little bit of an oversimplification because whether you get gammoned more or less than average matters for the take point at when he's 4 away. But typically when they double right away, the gammons are about average, so doesn't really influence people's thinking. But if they like forget to double or something for a turn, that does matter. Like at this score, you might take at like 45% if you have a position that loses fewer gammons than average, which I think not a lot of players understand, even some strong players understand. And conversely, you should pass if you're 52% sometimes, if you lose more gammons than average, and it's, the guy's 4 away. So it's a little different than the 1 away, 2 away score, but it doesn't come up that much. Okay, so this is funny. I think this is the exact same position. Yeah, 5-2-4-3. We get 5-2-4-3 again, and now I have to take, because you got to take everything. You have to take everything when your opponent needs an odd number of points, because losing 1 point is almost as bad as losing 2 points when your opponent's 3 away and it's post Crawford. Okay, so they made a good play here, or at least it's close. Yeah, I'm like desperate to get an advanced anchor, so I sort of go right after it, even though it looks a little more dangerous to do what I did. Right, I'm sort of maximizing my chances to make a high anchor and not letting them attack me. And I got away with it. All right, yeah, nothing going on here. 6-4. Looks like he makes a decent play with the 5-5 just to keep all the defensive stuff. 4-3. Yeah, I can't hit twice because I lose some gammons, and it doesn't look like it wins as much. I'm still up in the race here, so I'm being careful. Oh, okay, I overthought this one. Last night, we had that Wednesday night tournament last night. Then we have an online, I run like an online tournament, just like a little single elimination jackpot every Wednesday. And a play like this came up, and it was wrong to hit because it gives white more hitting chances. It was a very similar position. It was like you're sending a third guy back, and it was wrong to hit. And so that position was on my mind when I forewent the hit here, because I think I am getting hit more. If I hit him now, I believe I am getting hit more down the line, because he's gonna establish like a second anchor sometimes, and have a third man back, and it's gonna get some double shots sometimes. The problem is I'm not really up in the race that much if I play 8-2, and it's not an easy ride home. So hitting just has enough going for it that, despite the fact that he might get a better defensive structure out of it, you want to pick up in the race, especially like if you roll 6-6 here. He may dance for a while. I think that was the difference with the position I had in mind. Like I'm not up in the race that much if I don't hit. It's 18 pitch, but he's on roll and he's more efficient, and I still have the 13 point to clear. So that's the problem. Yeah, this was a funny blunder. If I hadn't seen that position, I would have got this right. It's funny. Sometimes you learn a new concept from reading a book or just studying with the computer, and it takes blundering with it like once or twice before you really internalize what's going on. Like in a sense, I sort of learned a concept last night where hitting when the guy already has 2 men back, it's not so good if the only thing you care about is not getting hit long term. but I misapplied it here because there's too much. There's too much going for the hit. You know, I get to clear the 13 point and take him out of the race. So that's kind of funny. And you can see he gets back. He gets back in the race right away. I do play carefully rather than leave him 3 shots by playing 13 to 8. Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, it goes to show how important sort of reinforcing the concept is after you learn it and reinforcing it in like the right way. Yeah, this is big brain stuff. Is a good way to think of this blunder that I just did. Way overthought it. Huh. Okay, well that's instructive. Sort of glad this came up. All right, 8 to 3. Okay, play very carefully again. You can bring down the 3, but it's an extra couple shots. And actually, it's sort of more than that. Because let's say you make my play. I mean, 6-6 hits, and 6-6 is like kind of a good number, anyways, right? He's gonna win the race if he rolls 6-6, anyways. So I'm not paying that much to be in hit. In fact, it looks I get a return shot if he rolls 6-6, and yeah, 4-4 is a big number, anyways, as well. So it's like, I don't know, it's two extra shots to play 13 to 10, 13 to 8. Because all 9s hit. There's 5 9s and only 3 12s that hit. So 2 extra shots, but yeah, it's really more than that because in a sense 6-6 and 4-4 are duplicated if I make my play. Okay, and then yeah, now I get the picture that the race is close, and so I have to sort of actively contain them here. And 6-6 happens to be safe. I didn't really think about it at the time. And then I make like a decent play with the 3-1. So it's six blot numbers either way, right? I make the correct play. It's 6-1, 5-1, 4-1, and you count that as 6 blot numbers because non-doubles are, and a specific non-double such as 6-1 is twice as likely as a specific double such as 6-6. So that's why you count non-doubles as 2 shots. In other words, 2 out of 36. And you count doubles as 1 shot, in other words, 1 out of 36. So this is 6 shots, 6-1, 5-1, 4-1. This is also 6 shots, 6-5, 6-4, 5-4. But this is slightly safer long term because say he dances here, the numbers that don't leave shots tend to clear the 5 point, and I don't need to worry about it anymore. Whereas if he dances, you get away with this, you're still going to be left with this shoddy position. We still have to clear the 5 point. Little bit of risk in my play in that I lose the race sometimes, but the difference in shoddiness is worth it. If the race was closer, you might go the other way. And then yeah, nothing much happens. He kind of gets back into it, but yeah, I rolled 44, and yeah, finish him off. Okay, so that was instructive. I think I just made 1 blunder. And I doubled something that was too good. So let me just take one more look at my blunder just to sort of reinforce this in myself. Yeah, I mean hitting, although it might be slightly more dangerous long term, it might be, arguably. It has a ton going for it. In other words, it takes him out of the race and clears the midpoint, so I don't have to worry about it later. So that's just what's going on. I mean, probably this is an easy play for most people, but I just overthought it. I big brained it, as Idiot Vig says. Okay, guys. Well, thanks for watching. Yeah, thanks for chatting, and probably done for the day. But yeah, hopefully later this week I'll be back. Great. Yeah. Take it easy, everyone.